Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and a dark, dark welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. I recorded a previous Walking Wednesday, actually, talking about quite a lot of things, actually. However, I end up losing the audio for that, so I'm doing it again. So, this is going to be a quick Walking Wednesday, like I say every single week and never actually do. So, take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But yeah, I guess here I am again. I even had like a intro. So yeah, one thing I'll go to before I start, of course. I actually kind of promised something. Well, I didn't promise it, but what happened was I said to Monet, "Oh yeah, you're gonna love the beginning, the opening of this." And yeah, of course, that was the other one. So basically, the opening was me realizing I had this light like this, and basically turning around and going, 7 feet tall, rats on his back. That was it. That was basically it. I just wanted to like do that kind of thing. So I don't know. It's not as good in hindsight, nor is the microphone that I'm using right now, because I'm going back to my regular phone mic, because the other one I actually tested it out afterwards to see if it was working, and it is, but it's making this ringing sound, so it's not really that good for me right now. So I'll try and fix that, because who knows, I want to use this setup for what ifs in the future. Have a good microphone to use, and I'm like, okay, well, hopefully it doesn't keep doing that ringing, because that's going to be very annoying. And ideally, I'm not going to noise reduce this video, because I won't have to, because it'll be short enough to put into an edit. So basically, I was talking about, well, the first 20 minutes or so were me just gushing about the film Encanto, which Mona and I watched a couple of days ago and absolutely loved. I was saying how we played a game with ourselves, especially me, where I basically was predicting like everything that was going to happen in the film, and she did too, actually. So a few things that she got right. But yeah, in terms of like themes, what the characters were supposed to represent to each other and stuff, and all that, it was quite clear. But you know, the TLDR version of what I said in that other video is that it doesn't actually matter. Like, it was still enjoyable, and it's not necessarily that it's like stuff that I knew I was going to see. It's stuff that I knew I was going to see, but I also wanted to see. It's unlike gacha videos in the sense that that when you actually kind of know a trope, then you actually you know exactly what you're going to get in the video. But yeah, in this instance, it was there's nothing that I've seen that's quite like Encanto specifically, because especially from Disney recently, because it's a lot more subtle than most Disney films nowadays, especially the live action remakes that all seem to have an agenda attached to them. This one is just like, hey, you know, family's important, but some parts of it kind of suck sometimes, so you know, be aware of them, basically. That's the thing, you know. No one's actually quite aware of how to actually properly express some concerns they have, or think that something is normal, until they see it in a setting, regardless of whether that setting's a magical realm, well, not a magical realm, like a magical house, and most of the action takes place in that one location, you know, and everyone's has powers set for one person, and blah blah blah. You know, doesn't matter, because it's still relatable because of the subtlety behind it, so the themes that are attached to it. I remember there was one director that I worked under one time, who we were doing an interpretation of The Crocodile by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I don't know how to say his first name. Dostoevsky, the one who wrote War and Peace. Yeah, he also wrote a short story called The Crocodile. So naturally, that was set way back when in Russia. But this time, actually, you know, it was adapted to set into Britain, and a lot of the subtleties about like Russia and stuff are kind of like taken out. because he said that wouldn't be relatable to British audiences. And that really got under my skin because, I mean, there I was at the same time writing a sci-fi series set in another planet with no humans whatsoever, and but still trying to like have ideals of you know, how much progress do you make before it destroys your world and stuff, and like adoption, new families, and I don't know, ecology, etc. You know, very, very recognizable things. Some of which are more recognizable than others to some people, but nonetheless, they were all important to me and important to understand, but they were set in a different world. It kind of made me think, well, if I want an audience to read this, do I have to tailor it so far down in terms to him? Is that what he's saying? Because, I mean, on one hand, in theatre, you know the audience are going to get, and yeah, you can play to them sometimes, but in general, it's good to have like other worlds and settings, and even so far as like have like a different culture or something, you know. It does, like, those things can only add to the enriching experience of the film, because audiences like learning about those things. They like seeing these characters that inhabit a different world to their own, even if it's like based on certain aspects of a world but they don't know about, you know, of our own world, I mean. And Disney's always been great at that when they're actually doing it for the right reasons, obviously, you know. Because sometimes you've got stories where they do the research, they go to the place, the animators like go around and get inspiration. And that's always been the case since the beginning of time. And then of course they do live action remakes when they go so overboard with trying to appeal to that specific market, that it just fails on all aspects, and that same market just hates it. Yeah. They're so concerned with not trying to step out of line that, you know, they just that, you know, nothing ever gets achieved. Once again, add a dose of magic in there. That really helps you out. So yeah, that's when, you know, in the words of Doug Walker, I like it when Disney's and not Disney's. It's better when he had the visuals on screen, but once again, I plan not to edit this. And I'm going to stop talking about Encanto now, because I've realized I'm now up to 7 minutes, and I was going to cut this short. So yeah, that's been like the highlight of the week so far. The other stuff that's happened is I've been doing that same scene of the last episode of The Mutant Girl. It's still being worked on. I'm not stopping it. It's just that I need to make sure the scene is perfect, because, you know, otherwise it's not gonna. It's the most important scene probably in all of the actual episodes from a writing perspective. So on a technical level, it needs to be really there. And now it's got up to like 9 minutes long as well. And people have stepped in to assist with just the basic screen captures and stuff. Like, really, it's that, we're at that point. So, yeah. Needless to say, it's, I realize now, actually, I'm just, as I'm thinking about this, literally right now, I realize I messed up in the way that I went about, like, using certain tracks and motions and stuff. But no one cares about that aspect. Basically, there's a way I could have done better. And I think I'm now going to try and, like, apply that so I can, like, you know, just edit those portions together and stuff. I feel like that might work a little bit better, and also like not crash, because it used to crash a lot too. So yeah, all year, literally all year, I've been working on this one scene and just trying to release it. So it's very much still in the works, and I intend to really properly, you know, go into it, you know, and make it the best I can, regardless of how many extra minutes, regardless of the fact that it's longer than some actual episodes of The Mutant Girl, like, all together. Which is an interesting notion. But yeah, this is probably the most ambitious thing I've ever done, basically. I'm going to turn around now so I can go back and not go down the hill. Yeah. But yeah, that's been most of my week, basically. Other than times when I like take a little bit of time to hang out with Monet or with a few friends and stuff every now and then, just because I need an actual break. Like usually nowadays I've gotten the habit of staying up until about 8, just working on the scene, honestly. And that's because, like, in my mind it's midnight in California. I did that on New Year's, actually, particularly because I was like, okay, well, I'm going to put all the effort in I can and see how far I can get before that goes off. So then YouTube headquarters, that's the difference. But yeah, issue with that would be, doesn't quite work that way. Yeah, I don't know. So, well, I mean, it would have worked out, but also, like, I could have had to render it and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. So, I've been doing that. And, yeah, I've been downstairs, you know, watching some TV at times, and sometimes talking to Monet, depending. But if I'm not talking to anyone, I've got the scene in front of me, and I'm still plowing away, basically. And yeah, it's putting like a stop on like a lot of stuff I wanted to do as well, because I said before I was going to get back to my Teddy Lupin fan fiction, because I've been on a Harry Potter kick recently, and obviously the Pure Gacha channel, which hasn't been made, and I intend to make it, but only after I actually I finish this scene, because, you know, I don't want to open a new channel and have to focus on that. So yeah, that's really it, honestly. That's not much has happened. Most of that time was spent me talking about Encanto in the last video. So really, I'm gonna leave it off here because I don't want to record this for a third time, honestly. And I want to actually just post this. And obviously, I've got a stream later today too. So that's another thing to consider. But I'm gonna get back because there was a bath that I was about to go into beforehand, and I was like, you know what, that's a good way to cool off immediately after coming back. So I think that's a good idea. So I'm gonna do it. So yeah, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and watch Encanto. And on that note, until next time, farewell.